Back then, you had to be savvy enough to, code. You had to be savvy enough to know how to buy a domain name.
2022, ChatGPT, that's that first wave. That's the Netscape Navigator moment for us. Like, we're like, that's it, right?
I knew nothing about computing. Like, I used to go to your house to surf the web because you would do it for me. Hey, look up this, you know?
Before the internet, your computer was just, it was like an appliance that sat in your house.
Yeah. Sightbox, unbox, while we open the door. New podcast.
Welcome back to the BoxPod. This is the BoxPod. My name is Charlie.
I'm Nathan.
And we are on episode 6.
Hey. Season 2.
We've got through half a season.
This is the filler episode.
This is the filler.
You know?
This is like when sitcoms had that, there's a name for it. There's basically one episode in the season of, it used to be for broadcast sitcoms like Friends or something.
Yeah.
And they'd have that one show where it takes place in one room.
Yeah.
They spend no money. Essentially, it's the show where you can't spend any money. There's no budget to do anything.
Budget, right.
So the script is written
right,
like in the living room.
Right.
And that's it. We're just going to bang it out.
Yeah. Or like we cut to like, it's all flashback episode.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Flashback episode.
With the Unit B producer or whoever, interview director.
So
like,
everyone's on vacation.
Yeah, like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's where we're at.
All the actors are out except maybe 2.
Yeah, we're gonna do backstory.
Oh, we're gonna go backstory. We're gonna have to pull up some old episodes and talk about that. Since we're here on the topic of AI, like we always are, tell us about the blog post that you wrote this morning about riding the wave.
Riding the wave.
Because I was right there with you when it all went down.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I don't know. I was thinking this morning, I was like, you know, we keep talking about this a little bit. And the truth is, like, you know, I kind of say it in this blog, but the idea that, you know, in 1995, right, 30 years ago, you and I were sitting at Montwood High School, and they had passed a bond issue for technology, or part of the bond issue is a technology thing, and they put a computer in every classroom. That was their promise.
Was it sophomore year?
I believe so.
Right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's like I remember so clearly walking into the classroom and seeing that computer in the back.
Yes.
And it wasn't the teacher's computer.
No.
It was like the
it was a classroom.
Dude, how funny is this? What were we just watching on YouTube when we were setting up the mics?
Mike. No way.
What are the odds that our buddy Mike Anderson is calling right now? I'll call him back.
All right, call him back.
That is hilarious.
That's crazy.
That's actually, look, my ringtone.
Dude, we were watching this video like 30 seconds before we started.
Rings. Dang it stopped ringing. My ringtone is Mike.
God.
Oh, man.
What a blast.
Too funny.
That's crazy.
Anyways.
Yeah,
it was the computer in the back.
Yeah.
It was like the class computer.
It was a class computer.
And it wasn't for games.
No. But dude, it was hardwired to the internet. I had an Ethernet cable plugged in, ready to go. And I mean, at the time, everything else was dial-up and slow, and
we had probably messed around with AOL by then, right?
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. We were kind of, we were getting all those CDs in the mail.
Yep.
But this was sort of different, right? Like I remember getting on just Netscape Navigator.
Yep.
Right. And being like, what is this? And it, you know, and it was sort of like up till then, like you talk about AOL as a good example, like AOL was sort of in like that, we would call it like the skeuomorphism phase. Have you heard of that term?
I've heard you talk about it.
All right.
Yeah, I'm not.
So it's sort of it's a term. I think it's sort of been created recently, but it sort of It's the example is like when Apple launched the iPhone, all of the apps and icons and buttons and everything looked
Oh yeah,
tactile,
yeah.
right?
Even the slide, it's like this.
Yeah, it had like it looked like you could. It had a
ridges,
shadow,
the shadows,
had
the
a
bevels.
sheen to it.
Yep.
It sort of had these. It looked physical, so you knew to
Yep.
touch it. It had that sort of illusion.
Yeah.
Sort of the same thing. So, and we do this. We build things so that people look. It's familiar,
Right.
Right. And so, if you remember, like AOL, you'd go onto AOL, and if you looked at show times or whatever, it looked like a city or something. You'd like click the theater off to the side.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And so it was like very like, here's, hey dummies, click over here. It felt that way. And Apple wasn't talking down to people necessarily, but that's sort of the idea. It's like bridge that gap. And but I remember getting onto Netscape and none of that was there.
Right.
Like it was just like raw internet. Like here it is. Here's text links. Here's like just badly written
His web
HTML.
crawler.
Yes.
Remember that?
Yes. Yes.
You see the little spider?
God, dude.
You remember that?
Yes. That's crazy.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, we used to just get on the web. And at the time, like the internet looked like trash.
Yeah.
It wasn't beautiful at all, but it was sort of this new possibility. And, and anyway, it was just sort of this, big moment for us back then. And so anyway, I was just sort of drawing this parallel to that and sort of where we are today. And one of the things that I sort of talk about is that, back then we were just in high school. We didn't really know what all this meant, I mean, we were goofing around on it,
Yeah.
and I remember
He's calling again.
oh, we better call him back.
Shoot.
But
Good.
anyway, at the time we were just goofing off with it. And my dad used to tell me, 'cause I used to have a Mac
Yeah, you had a Mac.
I had a Mac.
You had the original Mac TV, the
I had
Apple
the Mac TV, right? I had an LC2, dude, back in the day. And honestly, so my mom, she got a bunch of them for her library because they had a computer lab,
Mm-hmm.
and she'd like bring one home over the
Lucky
weekend.
bastard.
Yeah, so I was like, I'm
Yeah,
clicking
but you
around.
needed a dedicated phone line for that.
Yes,
Right?
yes,
Because it would tie up the line, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
And nobody could call you.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I convinced my parents to do that. If I said it was for education,
So I had my own phone line as well,
did you?
but
For you.
for girls.
Yeah, right.
And you had it for the internet.
Dude, Charlie's bedroom. Where was it? Was it the garage? What did you?
Yeah, we converted the
Dude,
garage into my bed.
Charlie had like the crib, dude.
Dude, it was
Dude, black
out.
black lights everywhere, freaking checkerboard floor.
Yep.
Dude,
The beads.
dude, it was
Remember that?
it was it, dude.
The only thing I didn't have was my own entrance.
Yes.
And that was the hack for my parents, is that they would know what time I would come home. Because my mom would just be in the living room or,
Yeah, you can't. Yeah,
or
couldn't sneak in.
nope.
No.
Couldn't be in and out of there like Albert's place that had his own front door, and come at all hours of the day.
Yeah.
But yeah, you needed your own dedicated line to dial up.
Yeah, because if anyone else
the
picked
internet.
up or called, you'd be toast.
It'd be it. Jesus
Oh my
gosh. It's not that important. I'll text him back.
Yeah. Anyway, point being, back in the day, my dad used to be like, he'd see me playing on computers. He'd be like, "Yeah, but does it do work?" Because he would do all his grade books and stuff on an Apple IIe monochrome screen, and he saw
Yeah.
me goofing off on this thing. He's like,
Dude, and you know what that reminds me of? The what is it called? The monotone one? The green
monochrome.
monochrome is playing I remember playing, what is that Voyage one? The game, that Oregon Trail.
Yes.
Do you remember that? Oh man.
Yes.
And then my neighbor, this is back when I was at Vista del Sol. my neighbor had like the floppy disks.
Yep.
We'd go over to his house and he had a shooting game, like, Western.
Okay.
And I just remember it being like,
Dude.
dude, mind blown.
Yeah. Like little deers, like probably moving like.
Yeah, it was crazy. And this is
frame
when
a second.
Atari was probably barely
Yeah.
coming out. And so we
Yeah.
hadn't seen that level of
Yeah.
gaming yet. Anyways, that was it. We went from that to here. Now's a fully, full computer, color computer.
Yep.
And then here's this gray box to a world, that's endless.
Yeah.
And it just, you just couldn't wrap your mind around it at the time.
The idea and I was telling my daughter this the other day, I was like, keep in mind, before the internet, your computer was it was like an appliance that sat in your house.
Mm-hmm.
And if you wanted to put software on it, you had to go physically out and buy it.
Yep.
Or get it from somewhere and then put it on that machine.
Mm-hmm.
And that machine couldn't talk to any other machine. That was it.
Yeah.
That's all it could do. And I was like, it was like an appliance. I said, now it's this gateway to the world,
Yeah.
So, but at the time it wasn't much, and so people looked at it like, what does it do? And so anyway, but back to this article, one of the things that kind of stood out to me was how, at that time, again, we were pretty young, but you moved out here to Silicon Valley.
Yeah.
Right after school.
My story's kind of crazy too.
I don't know anyone from Montwood that moved out.
Not that we know of.
No, I think you were the
No,
only.
and look at this. Like, talk about luck or providence, whatever you want to call it. I decided to move out to the Bay Area without knowing really anything about it. I knew LA, I knew Disneyland,
Sure.
but we're a couple of kids from freaking West Texas,
Yeah.
Like, we've been nowhere. You know what I mean? And so when relatives said, you should just come out of here after graduation, stay with us. You have, you can use the car, like basically everything I would need as long as you can, get a job and go to school. And I was like, that sounds like a great deal. I'd love to get out of El Paso, right?
Yep.
And lo and behold, it's San Jose, I'm thinking San Jose, but more specifically it was Mountain View. And so we literally lived in some apartment complex in Mountain View. And when I mean like around the corner, I mean Netscape is around the corner.
Right.
From where we lived.
Yeah.
And so you were just kind of dropped in during the .com sort of hype.
Dude, 97, 98.
Yeah. That was 97 when I moved.
Yeah.
Summer.
Come on.
Summer of 97. Like, what are the odds that I end up in Mountain View the summer of 97?
Yeah.
And I'm not going to tell my whole life story, but I knew nothing about computing. Like, I used to go to your house to surf the web because you would do it for me. Hey, look up this, and print that thing. It's funny or whatever.
Yep.
And then I had a cousin younger than I was who was more savvy, who had a computer at home, and then I would go to his house. Hey, look this up, or build me a little GeoCities, wrestling page.
Yes.
Whatever, because I didn't know what I was doing.
Uh-huh.
I barely knew how to type.
Yep.
To go from that, barely knowing, to surfing AOL at my relative's house in Mountain View, because that's all we had, to working in tech 2 years later, is just like, how, right?
Yeah.
How does that happen?
Yeah. How does that?
And yeah, long story short is I taught myself how to code when no one knew how.
Yeah.
And that was the gateway for me in. And I mean, the rest is history, but man, what a perfect place, perfect time, perfect opportunity, perfect wave,
Yeah.
without even knowing it.
Without even
plopped in right as the wave went.
Yeah.
And I just rode that.
Yeah. And you're like, what's going on? You're like, hold on, buddy.
Yeah.
Here we go. Yeah.
Rode that thing.
Yeah.
And it wasn't that I saw it and I said, this is the future. It was more like, dude, how is no one else doing this?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And why is everyone screwing around, in an 8 to 5, 9 to 5, playing games on their downtime?
On weekends. Yeah.
No, or in the job.
Or yeah.
Yeah, just, goofing off.
Yep.
Getting paid, minimum wage or whatever. I'm like, dude, you can learn it right there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and back then it was even easier. Like right click, view page source, steal it, tweak it, re-upload it. Like it was that easy.
Yeah.
And that's how I taught myself, basically.
It's crazy. Yeah.
And the rest is history. But then I saw it. I'm like, dang, this is wild. Like people are gonna like buy things on this thing. People are gonna do, whatever, bank, all the things we have now. And it took a while, right? But when you're making the parallels to this wave, it's like on steroids. Right?
Well, this is the big one. Like I feel like, I mean, if you really look
It's
at
tsunami, bro.
yeah, like this is the big one to hit, right? And it's like there will be other waves, right? Like even if you think of the internet, like that first wave hit, the .com boom, but then you had the subsequent waves. You had e-commerce, right? You had social media, right? And you had, SaaS,
Yeah.
right? All these sort of like, these are like other waves that came through after that initial one. And like we're saying here, like, 2022 ChatGPT, that's that first wave. That's the Netscape Navigator moment for us. Like, we're like, that's it, right? So we're like, so, and I'm thinking to myself, like, if I could tell myself in 1995 what I know now, right? What would I say, and be like, take advantage of this, right? I mean, that's one thing to say, but at the same time, like, it's not that I was resistant to the internet, but I sure as heck didn't I didn't place my bet on that. You know what I mean? I didn't take my chips and go, let's go, I mean, I still went to college and I did my thing. And at the time there was like a web design course or like some computer aided something. Now I was using a computer all day long, but I was using like Adobe design software. Right. And even at that, I thought I was like cutting edge, but there was this whole other thing happening that I wasn't even like clued into or not clued into. I just never went all in until much later. And then I had to sort of like pivot around to get into it. And, but I'm sort of thinking now, like, it's like now we're older, obviously, but we can see the wave, it's like and I don't know if have you ever tried surfing?
Oh yeah.
Right?
It's hard.
It's hard. But one of the things about it, right, is you're out there and you have to look far enough out to sort of see a big enough wave. And you can kind of sense after a while, if you're out there long enough, you're like, there it is. You can just you can tell, even though it's just a little baby, you're like, it's far enough out. I've seen 100 waves in a row. This one's different. That's the one. And then you really sort of get in position and go. And I think if you really look at surfers, like half of the job is just getting the right wave, like waiting. It's all about patience, about waiting for that wave to hit. And then you get up on it. And if you time it right and you get the right wave, then getting up is a lot easier, right? Because you have that push against you. So I feel like this too. I feel like half of it is sort of knowing when to jump on. And I feel like now is the time, So, yeah, that's basically what I wanted to say in this article. And as a result, part of the thing I wanted to mention too is sort of how, we're looking at Sightbox the same way, right? We're putting the agency in a position to ride that wave.
Yeah. I mean, you were trying to build an agent all day today. Right?
Yeah. I've been trying to build an agent on Crew AI.
Yeah.
To sort of do some PM work. And it's tedious right now, but I'm just like, I feel like it's happening
right
now.
Here's those parallels again, right? And we keep talking about agents and what they are and what they aren't. Back when I was learning how to code, right? Again, there wasn't a whole lot of people doing it. They were called webmasters. If you remember.
Yes.
And some webmasters used to be listed on the freaking footer of the websites.
Yes.
Webmaster.
Yes. Or we'd be webmaster at or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Master at.
Yeah.
Like, man, what a time, right? But But what was required back then, you had to be savvy enough to, one, code. You had to be savvy enough to know how to buy a domain name.
Yes.
You had to be savvy enough to know how to find a hosting plan, how to set up the file system, how to upload the files. Think of all the steps that were required
Yeah.
for you just to even put something on the internet, right? And now it's anyone can do it with one click.
Well, and what's crazy too, like because I was thinking this morning, I was like, how do I do this, right? So I even asked ChatGPT, what's the best way to create an agent to do these things? And it spit out Crew AI, and we're like, oh, well, we've talked to those guys. We know what their platform's about. And so I just created an account, and right away you've got that chatbot thing on the left, and you just have a dialogue with it. You're like, hey, I'm trying to build this, I'm trying to build that. And of course it gets really ambitious, right? I think I showed you, it created this whole like 8-step thing, and none of it worked because it was just too ambitious. So I said, let's do some basics first. Let's like put some training wheels on, let's just go through Asana. Show me what you can do with Asana. And so, but once we get that going, then we just say, okay, now that we've mastered Asana, let's go on to the next step, right? Let's work with Slack. And what can we do? Let's talk back and forth. And then all of a sudden you start adding 2 or 3 tools on there, and you're like, then I feel like at that point you're getting to the point where you're almost doing what a human is required to do, right? Like I think half the time what humans are able to do is sort of that take information from one place to the other, right? And right now everything's so siloed, right? The interesting thing to see is, like, for instance, like with Crew AI and like Asana, like I get there's an API call that you can do to get this information. I'm curious to see, because I keep hitting snags with it, and I'm wondering, like, at what point, like, is Asana gatekeeping some of that information? You know what I mean? Like, how friendly are these platforms going to be to handing over that data to another agent?
Yeah.
But at the same time, if they hold it back, what does that say?
Right.
You know what I mean? Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, but back to the analogy, right? You had to kind of know your way around back then. And I feel like today you kind of have to, like you've said it before, we're like in an AOL era of AI, because people can use it, but how are they using it? As a chat interface. I mean, you used Crew AI today by talking to it. Yeah. And I feel like maybe in the near future, or the not so near future, we're going to laugh at that.
Yes.
And say, can you believe we used to just prompt it with chatting like a human?
Yeah.
To do XYZ? Just like, remember when we used to log into AOL and you had these people saying, click here, you want to see, you want to chat rooms over here, sports over here, and news over here. Yeah. Because it had to be dumbed down.
Had to be dumbed down?
Right? And you're like, that. Yeah. And we're in that phase where we have to chat GPT everything, right?
Yeah. With the text prompts.
Because that's all the average person can do and understand. But I guarantee you get that 1% of people that really know this space, that have been doing it for years, that they know what to do with that API or all that code that it's spit out. We don't know what to do with it. I mean, even our own SegMind, our own client, right? It's a very ambitious tool. We've played around with it, but I feel like even for us, it's like, okay, now what? Yeah. We have all these, models strung together and this amazing workflow that does all this stuff. Now what? And people that know what to do, they're like, oh, thank you. I know what to do with that. I'm going to plug this into here, and I'm going to take my agent from Crew here, and boom, 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 and stitch this thing together. And now I've got this super agent or this tool that does whatever. But they know what they're doing. They know where to go for this. Just like we do with our video tools or image tools, right? We know. Yeah. I use 11 Labs for music. I use Suno for music, 11 Labs for audio, speech, and Midjourney for stills. And then I'm going to use Runway we know that. Yeah. But in the future, it's going to be probably way easier. It's going to be like one thing.
Yeah.
And so I feel like we're right there where with the agent thing, we're not sure what to do with
Yeah.
it yet, or how to, like, even, our other client, Fetch,
Mm-hmm.
like, can it book your travel yet or do that thing?
No.
No, not yet.
No.
But they're already looking ahead.
Right.
Well, not today, but it will.
Well, they know it will.
Right.
Right. And so, yeah, there's like this like guessing as far as how far can we sort of stake that claim,
yeah.
right, and build towards. So, yeah, and I think, I think it's going to be really interesting. And again, like the internet, like no one like, and this is what's really interesting because we were talking about this I think it was yesterday, about the idea of booking travel with an agent. And I don't know about, there's something funny about that scenario, because it's one of those things, like I remember early on with the internet, I bet even in AOL, like one of the first things they were like is you can book your own flight on the web. I don't know what it is about travel that like it's always like this, it's this like go-to, like there's just so much friction around booking travel, but it's like the one thing everyone sort of like defaults to. Like when the internet comes out, when AI agents come out, they're like, no more travel booking, But where I'm going with this is that I think it's interesting because it still represents like that, like this hurdle that I feel like it's almost like this test. Like if we can make that better than the previous version of it, we've done something amazing, And so I think it's funny that booking travel is a recurring theme.
You used to book your own travel on the website. You typed it in.
You typed it in, and you would set your itinerary and like look at all the flight times.
Yeah, and you would check all the different airlines for the best deal.
Yes.
And you booked your own hotel.
Yeah.
And your own car.
Yeah. Watch what's gonna happen, dude.
Man.
Watch what's gonna happen. We're gonna go. So that was the first phase, right?
Yeah.
And then what came out of that? The Priceline phase.
That's right.
The gamble.
Yeah.
The throw the dice. Like, just get me there. I don't care when. And I don't care how much, right? So you'd say, I want to go to Las Vegas this weekend, and be like, congratulations, $50.
Yeah.
Round trip. But you're leaving at 10:30 p.m. and you'll be,
Or you have to lay over in Phoenix for 7 hours.
Yeah, or you're gonna go to Colorado first, and then you can come back. It would be crazy what you would get, but it was like this weird like someone's like, what if we just do it this way, So what I'm sort of thinking is it's going to be the things that we're trying to solve for now are going to feel so mundane, right? Like we're saying, it'll be like booking travel online. You're like, duh, right? Right now, agents can't do it. But pretty soon, I mean, imagine where it's going to be. I mean, it's the stuff that we don't know, right? It's the stuff that like I said, the e-commerce or the social media or all those other eras that came afterwards. No one could have predicted that. No one. If you had said Facebook was going to be $100 billion company back in the day, social media.
Yeah.
When you looked at MySpace or whatever, you're like, no way. Here we are. You know what I mean? So what other industries that don't even exist are going to be worth $1 billion, $100 billion, $1 trillion that don't even exist now? We don't even know.
We don't know.
Don't even know.
Might be robots.
I think robots are going to be huge.
Yep.
I think robots are going to be massive. It's the new automobile. It's like we've been saying.
Yeah.
And we're going to send them to Mars.
And we are a fleet of them.
Yeah.
A fleet of them.
A whole shuttle or a whole rocket full of them.
What was that Star Wars series, the animated one? Bad Batch?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
That's it.
That's it right there.
That's it.
So you're gonna open that door, that ships, whatever you call that thing.
Yeah.
And they're just gonna march out.
Yeah.
And then go right to work.
Yeah.
Never complain. Never stop.
Whatever. Then one of them's gonna go rogue.
Yeah.
And do an uprising, right?
Yeah.
and then they're gonna build a whole city and say, don't you dare,
Yeah. Don't come.
don't come.
I'm gonna come. All right, we gotta hop to a meeting here,
Yep.
so we're gonna keep this one short. But
It was our
Yeah.
flashback episode.
flashback in a way,
We kind of did.
yeah.
Yeah.
And you have a little write up, riding the wave on sightbox.co. We'll link it here. Go check it out.
Yep.
But if you're as old as we are, buckle up, because we're about to ride a tsunami.
The big one.
Big
Kahuna.
The big one. Yeah, exactly.
Surf's
And
up.
today's episode was sponsored by Play Coffee.
Yes.
So
And what
get
is this
your
again? What did you order?
Shaken maple latte. Fantastic.
Tell us the secret ingredient.
The secret ingredient to the shaken maple latte is orange zest. Who would have thought?
And it is
It is a scorcher out there. So
it's a
it is
scorcher, and this
perfect.
This is I don't
Hitting
know,
the
man.
spot.
It's amazing.
Peace. Later. Catch us on the next one.
Surf's up.
Yeah.
See what this dude wants.
Sightbox, unbox, when we open the door. New podcast dropping like never before. Tapping AI, here we got the cure. Founders for founders, the vision is pure.